My dog bit a home intruder last year. Now the home intruder's mother is threatening to sue us for medical costs. Throwaway for odd reasons, but I live in an older home a stone's throw away from Frat Row in a party school college town. Just over a year ago, a college student drunkenly entered my home via throwing his weight at my 150-year-old wooden door at around 1:00 a.m. When he entered, he woke us up and startled our large dog, who was most likely sleeping on the floor by the front door. The dog bit him, drew blood, and college student needed stitches. When we heard him entering the home, we called the police, who did a great job of coming quickly. They administered medical care to him, and one set of officers took him to the ER while another set got a statement from us. We pulled our vaccine records for the dog, gave him the name to the vet, and so on. The next day they called to let us know that they had checked with a vet and everything about our dog was shipshape, and the dog was obviously contained appropriately and has no bite record, so they didn't impound him or anything and chalked it up to doggy justice. They dealt with the student, too, and communicated with us throughout the process, and after all the court dates he received a fine and a misdemeanor. We did not attempt to escalate, as college student was drunk, was stupid, had no prior record and hopefully learned from the experience, and our dog, door and frame got replaced, and strengthened with another lock. We had no idea how brittle that door was. This week, over a year later, we got a letter from a lawyer representing the student and his mom saying we can settle for the cost of the dog bite expenses, which they did not itemize or send a copy of the bill for or anything, just put the number on a letter, or they will sue us for the cost plus legal fees. My husband and I can't see how this can possibly hold up in court, considering he was technically breaking and entering and did receive a misdemeanor for that. My question is, do we even need a lawyer for this? Or can we just say see you in court? And represent ourselves with a copy of the police report from the break plus enter? We're sort of regretting letting it go so easily now. Ugh. How can he possibly sue us for the cost of the stitches and ER bill when he was criminally trespassing in our house and breaking our door down? It's not like our dog was outside running around unsupervised or even on a leash or something. He's not an aggressive dog at all and had never before and never since bit anyone. I feel like he and his mom watched one of those ambulance chasing lawyer commercials and took the bait. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Representing yourselves is a bad idea, even in a case that otherwise seems open and shut. In this case, you're not yet being sued, so you don't have to do anything. You should inform your homeowner's insurance of the letter, they will likely handle it from there. How can he possibly sue us for the cost of the stitches and ER bill when he was criminally trespassing in our house and breaking our door down? He was trespassing doesn't automatically excuse everything that happened. It's entirely possible for you both to have been wrong, him for BE, you for having a dangerous dog or something. Your particular situation doesn't seem like that, from your retelling, but such things aren't terribly uncommon. Op. Okay, sounds good, we will contact a lawyer on Monday. We paid one for advice when the student initially broke in to make sure we had our bases covered and had representation in case we needed to go to court. We did not. Our lawyer went on our behalf with written statements from us, and we will reach out to him again and then go from there. Edit. Whoa, there's a lot of responses. Thanks for the advice, everyone. At this point, we've made up our minds to speak to the lawyer we had from the initial case last year. We'll call him on Monday and update after that conversation. Some answers to questions. We are the homeowners. We paid out of pocket for the replacement door and door frame, and we also replaced our side and rear doors and frames with matching doors when we realized how easy it was to get into our house by forcing the door. This was in the low 5 figures. We took it out of our emergency fund and did not go through homeowners. There was a restitution order, but it was not enough to cover the doors that we wanted, labor, and door frames. We live in a historic home and wanted to keep with the character. We have lived in a historic home for most of our marriage, so we know to keep cash on hand for pipe leaks, furnaces going out, and now, door replacements. We tell our dog he's a good boy every day, don't you worry. He is the goodest boy. Update, 4 days later. Quick update to this, it was easily handled. We met with our lawyer on Monday and paid him outright to draft a letter and include documentation of fault, basically the police report, restitution order, court documents, etc. And also the vet records that include the police check-in and vaccine records for the dog. My vet wrote down when the police called him and why they called him, and my lawyer's secretary grabbed a copy of that for this. Why he is including this I don't know, but if anyone has any ideas why this would be important, let me know. He did not want to include the bills and orders for the door at this time, but took a copy just in case we needed to move further. This morning, the student's mom's lawyer who sent the initial letter called our lawyer and said that the family would no longer be pursuing restitution for medical expenses, and that we could expect a letter from him stating that would arrive at both the lawyer's office and our house within the week. Turns out that those of you who guessed that the student didn't tell his mom why and how he got bitten by our dog are probably correct. It wasn't explicitly said during the phone call, but my lawyer relayed that he could infer it from the way the conversation with the other lawyer went. This probably made his top 10 stupid cases list. Thanks again for the advice and help.